Thank you.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight. Me and Jacqueline are extremely excited about this series. This is actually the first of many interviews that we are going to be doing. And I am so excited to be interviewing tonight Jacqueline. For those of you that don't know Jacqueline, she actually is a freelance makeup artist in New York metro area.
Mm-hmm.
She's a former producer in the television industry, and she actually decided to go full-time with her makeup artistry in 2009 and totally change career paths. She primarily does makeup for commercial, television, film, bridal. She's super, super talented in so many different aspects of makeup artistry. She loves networking with other professionals, and she really likes helping them, and that's really how I met Jacqueline. I actually have been following Jacqueline on social media for quite some time, but we officially met in February, like officially, like face-to-face. So she absolutely loves helping other professionals, maximize their efforts through supportive business building advice and coaching. And she really offers a really great hands-on training for the people that she works with. And she is absolutely amazing. So I think she's the perfect guest to have on today. And, really, I really just am going to be asking Jacqueline a lot about her career and, how did she get to where she is, some great tips that she probably has. And we really want you guys to ask questions at the end. So we will go ahead and talk for a little while, but please make sure to type your questions in either the chat box or the question box. And we will try to get to those, as soon as we're done with the recording. So thank you so much for being here, Jacqueline.
Yeah, my pleasure.
So how did you get started in the makeup industry?
So a little differently, I think, than how other people may have gotten involved in the beauty industry and the makeup industry. So as you said, I was a producer. I went to college for TV broadcasting and communications, and that's pretty much what I did. I was producing out of school. I worked at CNBC for a little while after I graduated, and then after that, I worked at a couple smaller production houses, creative media agencies. I actually started one with two amazing, amazing women. Check out Hybrid Interactive, shameless plug, because they're still doing their thing right now. And that's what I was doing. I was a TV producer. And then around 2007, 2008, things kind of, the economy wasn't good anymore. Budgets were cut. No makeup budgets anymore. And I found myself on one shoot. It was a smaller production shoot. It certainly wasn't television, but it was like a sales training video shoot for a pharmaceutical company. And I found myself without the budget to hire a makeup artist. So I had to do it. No formal makeup training in the past. I had always done my friend's makeup. I always loved makeup. My mom is so glamorous, and she taught me how to put on makeup. She made sure that I was brought to get makeup lessons when I was of age growing up to start wearing makeup. So it was always in my life, but never, never, never professionally. So longer story-ish, short-ish, I ended up doing that makeup for the shoot, realizing very quickly, kind of, what am I doing? What am I doing? Producing is something that I'm good at, I'm comfortable doing, but I would see people 15 and 20 years my senior, and I just did not want to emulate those lives. And meanwhile, I would see these just awesome people walking in and out of the shoot. They're the makeup artist or the hairstylist, and they come in with a smile, they leave with a smile. They don't have to deal with the day-to-day client liaison type of a management thing. They didn't have to stay up for 3 days in a row figuring out all of their producing things because they didn't have to do that. So I knew what they made because I was the one that paid them. And I realized, I should be this is what I should be doing. What am I thinking? What am I even thinking? So I promptly left the producing industry and went to the makeup designery in Soho, New York, and studied beauty for the media there. And as soon as I was done, I started working. I worked at a Sephora for, a few months. And then after that, I left for to be a counter manager at Saks Avenue for Laura Mercier. Then I left the Saks Avenue, and I didn't want to work retail anymore like that. I really didn't. It wasn't that environment just wasn't for me. I know some people love it, but it just wasn't for me. And so I left there. I freelanced for Laura Mercier in various stores around the tri-state area, all while building up my production clientele and bridal clientele. And then when it got to a certain point where I was too busy to freelance for Laura Mercier anymore, I quit there, and actually that's when I partnered with Motive.
Okay, great.
That was like a really long-winded.
I know, but how did you build your clientele? I mean, did they find your clients for you, or how did you go about doing that?
Oh, no. Nobody found any clients for me. I found my clients. I love networking. And maybe that comes from my business background, my producing background. I don't know. I'm a people person. I've always loved networking. I always loved meeting new people. And so that's kind of what I started doing for a living.
Okay. And so, what tools did you use to build your business?
What tools?
Yes.
You know what? The first thing I did when I left the producing world was I contacted every single person that I knew to let them know of my change in careers. That was number one. Then it was word of mouth from there. And then once I really noticed the power that social media has, that was the other way that I got the word out there with social media. So it was word of mouth and social media, along with me networking.
Okay, great. So what does being business savvy mean to you and your business?
So business savvy to me, these are good questions, by the way.
Yeah.
Business savvy to me is just, this may sound very simplified, and I'm so sorry if you can hear the sirens in the background. I don't know what's happening in my town right now.
I can't hear it.
Okay, good. Business savvy to me, very simplified, is just put in your business first. You have to be, especially as a makeup artist, some people think of makeup artists as, oh, that's so fun. What a great job. It's so fun. That must be so fun. Yeah, well, guess what? It is fun, but you can't put aside the fact that you own a business now. Yeah, you're freelance if you are a makeup artist like me, so that means that it has to be go time all the time. You always have to be putting your business, again, for lack of better terms, in business mode, because if you treat it like a hobby, then you're not going to get paid.
Okay.
So that's for business savvy to me is making sure that you're treating it like a business and not just a hobby.
Okay. So what is some of your advice that you would have to some of the people that are tuning in that really want to grow their makeup artistry business?
You know what? I would say do some research. Do some research and check out other people in your industry. If you have, let's say you're a professional makeup artist. If you're a professional makeup artist and you have someone in mind whose career you may want to emulate, see what they did and then do those things. Maybe you can learn from their mistakes so you can skip ahead a little bit, maybe not. But do the things that the person that you want to emulate did, and that will help you at least point you in the right direction. That, and be open to new ideas. Be open to new ideas that may pay you.
So that leads me into, what makeup brands do you use? Or what makeup do you use?
Yeah. I used to use every single brand under the sun, from Cinema Secrets, it's a professional line, RCMA, another professional line, Graftobian, another professional line, Chanel, Dior, Laura Mercier, of course. I used to have a couple MAC things, never a huge MAC fan, but I used to have a few of their things. YSL, it runs the gamut. I used to have everything in my kit. And then, I was talking earlier about how I partnered with Motive Cosmetics. And once I partnered with them, I very quickly realized that if I used their products, which are the highest quality products that I have used to date, I could also sell them and offer them to my clients, both personal clients and my television production clients. So it just made sense for my kit, my professional and my personal kit, to slowly but surely become saturated with Motive Cosmetics. And that's where, we are today, where if you were to take a look at my kit, it's 98% Motive Cosmetics related. And the only reason why the other 2%-ish are not Motives is because we don't offer, Motives doesn't offer those products yet that I might need for my professional kit. But other than that, it's all Motives.
Okay, so how did you find Motive Cosmetics?
Really funny story. So when I was working in Sephora, a nice man walked in, and I could kind of notice that he was watching me do educating a client while doing a makeover. I'm all about educating my clients. I talk a lot when I'm doing a makeover. Mm-hmm. And he was watching, and then he disappeared, and then I was done with the makeover, and then he approached me. And we started talking. He soon after introduced me to his wife, and he said that his wife was in the beauty industry, and could he hook us up? Basically, could he have us connect? There might be some sort of synergy there. He wasn't sure, and lo and behold, sure enough, there absolutely was. And when he introduced me to his wife, Lydia, we instantly connected. We instantly had a really nice bond. And she'd become one of my very good friends too. So that was back in, I would say 2011 that we met. And okay. It's 2016 now.
Yeah.
It was a random encounter, really random encounter.
Right? That's pretty cool. So yeah. What are some of the things that they showed you that interested you? Like what did they say to you that made you listen? And what were you interested in?
Yeah, they actually talked to me a lot about, first of all, custom blend, which I don't know if I hope I'll be able to talk a little bit more about that in a little while, because this is one of my most favorite things ever in life to do is to custom blend liquid foundation. But they talked to me a lot about the fact that Motive Cosmetics gives the ability to custom blend bottles of foundation for people. So me, coming from now a brief but yet background in Sephora, having that knowledge of clients coming in and buying 2 or 3 different shades just so they could go home and mix them themselves so that they could finally get a color that maybe matches, that totally made sense to me. I definitely understood the power of having a bottle of custom blends. So that was really cool. That's number one. And then number two was that, I was never a good salesperson, and I'm not a salesperson now, I have to be honest with you. But as makeup artists or as a makeup artist, we're selling product whether we realize it or not. And that clicked with me immediately. So if I'm doing a makeover on somebody, if I have a bride in my chair or whatever, when they like, inevitably, the stuff that I'm putting on their face, they're going to say, okay, write down whatever you put on me and where to get it, and I'm going to go out and grab it. Okay, great. So that's what I used to do. Well, you can get this from Laura Mercier, you can get this from Bobbi Brown, you can get this from YSL, the list goes on and on. That wasn't helping me. That was helping all these other lines. And that made sense to me. So once they kind of introduced those concepts, I'll call it, to me, I was introduced then to playing with the product, very impressed. And it was a no-brainer. It was a no-brainer. Did that answer that question?
Yeah.
I don't even remember
I'm sure there's a lot more that you could say, but yeah, that is absolutely wonderful. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
So you said that you're not really a salesperson. So what are your thoughts, though, on retailing products?
It just makes sense. As a makeup artist, you're selling a product, whether you're getting paid for it or not. So why not get paid for it? That was what I thought in my head, especially since these particular products were so high quality. And I have to just take a second, if it's okay with you, Lee, to state why the Motives Cosmetics line is so good. Because it's not. Let me backtrack for one moment. I'm so sorry, everybody. I'm not used to being on camera. So I'm backtracking a sec. So Motives Cosmetics is what we call a product brokerage company. So what does that mean? Well, it means that we don't manufacture anything. Okay, so Motives does not physically manufacture anything. There's no Motives Cosmetics plant or factory that's cranking out these cosmetics. Okay, and that's good because now what happens is Lauren Reidinger, the founder of Motives, and her team of professionals, they go to all of the top manufacturing plants that all of these other lines that I've been talking about, yammering about already, that they all go to, and they pick out the best of the best from each and every manufacturing plant. And then they'll maybe add a couple ingredients to make it, the Motives ready, basically. They'll pop the Motives name on it, and then we will have the exclusive rights to those products. So we'll always have the best of the best out there. It's not all one line that from one manufacturing house. So it's not just, Motives has this manufacturing plant and they create all of the makeup there. So that means that people that distribute Motives Cosmetics, they're only pumping out Motives Cosmetics line, and it's all from one factory, and so we just have to push it out. It's not like that at all. We're actually getting the best of the best of the best that's out there in the world, making it better, and then putting our name on it. So we don't have to, count on just one line. We have all of the lines, but the best of the best, and then we add even more to it to make it even better. So once I heard that just, and the fact that I could make money from that, an additional income is, and again, I'm going to keep saying no-brainer, but it was a no-brainer.
Yeah. And so what has Motives done for your business, your freelance business? I mean, can you even, I know that's kind of
such a loaded question. Such a loaded question. It's done so much. I don't even know how to properly answer that question, only to say the word of mouth just from using these products alone has been outrageous. Outrageous. Being able to be known as the makeup artist that custom blends on set is super, super cool. So when I'm doing a commercial, or, you know, if it's a web series or a TV show or whatever it is, a film, whatever it is, the staff of those productions a lot of times know that I custom blend makeup, bottles of makeup. So that's really important to the talent, the actors, because now if I make them a bottle, it doesn't matter if they're in New York or in Canada or in California or in Japan, like wherever they go, they now have this bottle that I made them of this perfect blend that even if they don't necessarily trust whatever makeup artist does them next, they could just hand them the bottle of custom blend. They don't have to worry that they're not going to be matched on camera. The makeup artist doesn't have to even think twice about mixing anything together to match the undertones, you know, whatever it is, it's created especially for them, and they can just walk around the world with it. That in itself is awesome.
Perfect. And can you talk, I know you said you wanted to talk a little bit more about custom blend. Can you explain to some of the people tuning in that maybe aren't familiar with what that means?
Yeah, sure. So, custom blend. Bottles. Okay. So, you know what? I should have had a bottle ready to go.
Actually, I have the whole thing behind me.
Do you have a liquid bottle?
I don't. I have a powder.
You know what? I might have a liquid. Give me one sec.
This is
ridiculous. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. I have one. Okay, give me one sec. Let me open this bubble wrap. Okay, here we go. It's a comment. All right. So, this is a bottle that the liquid goes in. And if you see what's right behind Lee there, all of the beautiful colors, that is a custom blend set. So I personally only do liquid right now. However, I will be starting late to do the mineral powder one soon. I'm really excited about that to make lipsticks and everything. So this is the bottle. And actually, I have a sheet, if it's okay. Can I share it? I have like a price sheet. Okay. So this price sheet, I was actually going to update it with my cost, but this is like a couple of years old. I will still share it though. Give me one sec. Nope, that's not it. Hold on a second. Where'd it go? There we go. Okay. Can everybody see this?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. All right. So let's take a look at this area right here, because I think this is the most relatable to what I'm saying. So this says the Custom Blend Liquid Foundation at retail of $45. So that would mean you would be selling this bottle for $45. Now, I sell one bottle for $55. This is from a couple years ago, you know, like I said. But so I sell one bottle for $55. But let's, you know, since these numbers are here, let's go with these numbers. So let's say you sell a bottle for $45. It costs you anywhere from like $12 to $16 to make it. So let's say $15.50 to make it, like it says here. So then you profit almost $30 from that one bottle. Okay. So if you were to make 10 bottles per week on just custom blends, that would be almost $300 in cash money in your pocket. So with 4 weeks in a month, that would mean $1,180 in the month. Okay, so that's just with liquid custom blend. So that's pretty cool. And obviously these numbers are higher for me because I charge $55 a bottle. So so there's that. And then you can see the other numbers here. I can surely leave this out so that everybody can kind of really get an idea of what this profit margin could be. So yeah, so that, I mean, this is, I think, really, really valuable. Let me see if I can make this bigger so that you can take a look. Oops, how do I do this? Okay. So I have clients that order their custom blends. I have one client, a couple clients actually, that order every month and a half. I'm not sure what they're doing with all of that makeup, but they're buying it every month and a half, so that's fine with me. And then I have other clients that are every 3 months, every 4 months, every 6 months. I have one client that's once a year because she barely wears it. But this is a constant source of revenue, and what's super cool, hold on, I have to go back into my closet of tricks. Okay. So what's super cool, can you still see me too? Because I'm no longer looking at the video portion of it.
Yes.
Okay, great.
I can see you.
Okay, cool. So what's super cool about this is that, okay, this is a like a formula card, a recipe card. So when you meet with a client the first time, you are writing down every single thing that you put into the blend, okay? Then you keep this on file, or I keep this on file. I don't know about you, but I keep this on file. And then when they want to reorder, all I have to do is pull out their sheet, whip up a bottle. They do not have to be there because I have the formula right here. I pour it into a new bottle or their old bottle if they dropped it off, and then they either pick it up or I mail it out, depending on where they live and depending on our schedules, because, you know, people are busy. And I'm a freelance makeup artist, so I'm really busy. So, you know, most of the time I have to mail it out, and that's okay. It costs like $2 to mail it. But that's, you know, that's what I do. It takes 5 minutes from start to finish, maybe less. And I just made all that profit, and that's how it happens. And then people lead to people, lead to people, lead to people, lead to people, lead to people. And now all of a sudden everybody wants their own custom blend that their makeup artist, you know, their makeup artist made it for them, which is, you know, kind of cool to say, not for anything. And it's fun to make too. So that's
and what I find is it really allows us to give our clients solutions, because a lot of women that I meet with, they usually have issues with their foundation, whether it's the color doesn't match, they can't find the right color, maybe they can't find the right coverage, maybe they're very sensitive to, you know, other formulas on the market because they're putting so many different additives in. So it really does allow us to cater to whatever that they are wanting, and being custom formulated for them, we can control the coverage, the finish, what's in it, the color. It's totally customizable. And that's exactly what happens. I've had clients move, and they will contact me and let me know when they need a blend, and you just pop it in the mail. Once you have that formula, you always have it, and you can, you know, tweak it a little bit if they do need maybe it's darker or a little more coverage. But people absolutely love it, and the possibilities are really endless with it. Not only making foundation, but we can really make anything we want. And I think as artists, it just really allows us to even be even more creative and offer that. So
absolutely. Absolutely. And I have to say, I have such a great time recreating some of my favorite products that are out there that, Motive may not have pre-made already, so I recreate them. And that is so fun and very rewarding and exciting when I finally, really nail a formula. It's fun. It's good. It's like playing Mad Scientist.
Yes, for sure. Okay, and then it also mentioned something about prepackaged cosmetics. So do you want to talk about what else Motives has to offer as far as prepackaged as well? With offering a website, things like that. Like what does Motives Cosmetics offer professionals that a lot of other makeup lines do not?
Great question. So when I first partnered with the line, I was actually really nervous, not because the products weren't awesome. They obviously were, or else I wouldn't have partnered with the line. But I was nervous that it was going to be one of those things where, the truck was going to back up and then they were going to unload all of this merchandise, this inventory into my apartment, which I don't have room for. That's not what happened. So instead of that, what happened was I got a Motives website. And so it's motivescosmetics.com/flawless by JM, which is my company name. And now my clients can go directly to my Motives website and buy from that, and everything gets taken care of by the company, and the product gets drop shipped directly to them. So once they order, it's out of my hands. It's up to the company to deliver it to them, which is amazing because you don't have, I don't have one more thing to worry about, which is great.
Mhm.
Yeah. And then you asked me about what kind of products that Motives has?
Yeah.
Is that what you asked me? Okay. So really a full line, amazing eyeshadows. Can I just tell you, amazing eyeshadows. The palettes that are out now too, woof, amazing. The Element palette is so good. It's so good. So it's like butter. So you just kind of go like this once, and it's all over your finger in a really great way. It's just I wish I had thought ahead of time to have it out and ready to go. You don't happen to have an Element palette behind you, do you? Or an I Do palette? Of course you do. You're so prepared. Okay, so that's my favorite palette of all time. Oh my God, open it. So good. Okay, so take your finger. Wait, stop moving it for a sec. Okay, yeah, there we go. All right, take your finger and just do one swipe over like that, over any of like the bottom shades or any shade. It doesn't really matter.
Okay, I'm going to use this one.
Oh, that's my favorite. Yeah, just do like one swipe.
Whoa! Can't really see, can you?
You can't. Oh, you can see it. You can still see it. It's not very clear because of the webcam, but you can still see it. Amazing. Just know that it's amazing. And if you haven't felt it, go feel it somewhere. The I Do palette, same thing. Oh my God, same thing. I love it. Can you do that like the color all the way top left? I forgot the name of it. The light color top left. And just show us on your finger. Yeah, just show us on your finger. Let's see if you can see it. Ridiculous. Stop it. Okay, all right. I can't anymore with these. I can't. Okay.
This is really cute.
Okay, so these palettes are amazing, and all my clients want to buy them. And that's another reason, actually, why I have a couple of these palettes. Well, not a couple. I have pretty much all of them in my professional kit. So when I take them out at bridal events or even commercial commercial jobs, production jobs, they get some, like, oh, what's that? Oh, what's that? What's that? What's that? And it's just people inquire about them. Blushes are amazing. Got like 1 million blushes. Multiple skincare lines for whatever type of skin that you have. I don't know. We have a full line. It's amazing. So just if you haven't tried anything from motives before, just make sure that you find someone who does have them, who has some motives products, and just play with them. It's amazing.
Okay, great.
Yeah, quality.
Yeah. So anything else you want to add to, I know, talking about the business savvy makeup artist, obviously motives has really changed your career and added so much, but
Easily.
Is there any other tips that you want to share with anyone?
Yeah, I would say, going back to the business savvy, be reliable. Be on time, and on time means early. Never stop networking. Be humble and coachable all the time. You never stop learning ever. And be open-minded. Be open-minded in general, because I know if I hadn't been open-minded or as open-minded as I was, back in 2011, 2012, I would have never. First of all, I would have never met you, Lee. And I would have never had so many good friends, the way that I do now, in the industry, and around the world, which is so cool. And you never know where something will take you.
Mm-hmm. And the other thing that I really want you to mention is Motives Cosmetics actually has different programs, and the people that I mentor and work with, I do explain to them that we kind of customize the right program for obviously what fits in with their career and their lifestyle.
Right.
And so definitely reach out to the person who invited you to watch this webinar, because they can go over that. Really we're here as professionals, just really sharing, what has worked for us, and
exactly.
We just do love helping other people, and but we do have to bring up motives because it is a huge part of what we're doing, and it's really changed our lives. But I do want you to reach out to whoever shared this with you, because we have just touched just a little bit of what it's done for us, and we would be here all night if we would go over that. But certainly I've been in the industry a long time, and there's nothing out there like what we have, and it's not like anything else. So if you try to compare it to anything, you can't, because it's not. Right. But yeah, so thank you so much for sharing a little bit of, about your personal career, because I really think that people can relate to what you told them. So we do have a couple questions.
Oh,
yeah, we have one. She says that her daughter is 14 and she's just starting into the makeup artistry business, or she wants to really get going with that, and she's using our Motives in Me program. So do you have any advice for the younger generation on how to get started and what to do?
That is such a good question. Thank you, Cindy. I see your question right there. So what I would recommend is to make sure that she is comfortable, or get her to be comfortable speaking with people. Instead of, for the younger generation, it's I feel like it's this constantly, right? It's constantly this with the texting, and it's almost difficult to have a conversation. Sometimes it may not be with your daughter, I'm just saying in general with that generation, with the younger generation. So I would say, as often as possible, really reinforce communicating verbally and in person with people, and making eye contact with people. It's very, very important. And I think that alone in itself will go a long way. because it's not the norm, unfortunately, these days.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that would be my first piece of advice. And then my second piece of advice would be practice on as many faces as you can. All different shapes, sizes, shades, everything. Have her practice applying makeup if that's what she wants to do, if she's interested in like makeup artistry, to practice on as many faces as possible, all the time, as often as possible.
You know, and I really do, I'm one with communication, and I work best one-on-one with the clients that I meet with, and it's really all about just providing what they are looking for. So if you can really master communicating with the people you're working with, and it's powerful to be able to provide them with that, and the only way to get better at it is by doing it. So if she just grabs some family members and asks them to practice, and some people are naturals at it, and they can just start putting makeup on people, but it is an art and it is a technical skill, so you have to just do it, and you just have to love it, and they will feel that. So I'm excited for her. I think it's
me
great.
too. I'm really excited for her.
Yeah.
And have her post. Have her utilize social media, okay? Have her post stuff all the time. Lots and lots of pictures of what she's doing.
Utilizing Instagram. I have a 13-year-old son who is an entrepreneur, and he does it all through Instagram. So definitely.
Nice.
Okay, so
nice.
we have, let's see. Okay.
Hi, Monina. I just saw you.
Hi, Monina. Okay, so here is a question. It says, I absolutely love the idea of custom blends for clients on set. My big question is, when do you find the time on set, or do you meet with them beforehand?
Great question. Who asked that question?
My box is so small. I can't read it. I'm sorry.
That's a set question. Is that Maleva? Could that possibly be Maleva asking that question? I just want to know who I'm talking to.
I think it is Maleva. It's kind of broken up.
It?
I apologize.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think
Maleva.
It is Maleva.
Okay. It sounds like a Maleva question. Hey, Maleva. So yeah, what I do is the first day. It really depends on the show. It depends on the production, what I'm working on. So if I have a 7 shoot job coming up, maybe the first day or two, depending on how quickly the schedule is put together, because we, as you know, as a production makeup artist, Maleva, we don't have real control over who puts the schedule together and how it's put together. So with that being said, I'll kind of feel out the situation, and then I will bring up to the actor or the actress that I custom blend if they didn't already know. And if they didn't already know, they're super excited. And if they did already know, then they're still super excited that I brought it up, because that means they want to do it. So a lot of times I'll custom blend and I'll bill production for it so that the talent gets a free blend. Sometimes I'll just gift it, the first one, because I know that they're going to be coming back to me anyway. And big whoop, what was that, $15 out of my pocket when I'm on a 7-day shoot. It's not that big of a deal to gift that foundation, especially when I'm positive that they're going to be coming back to me over and over and over again. So I will, once I realize the scheduling, the talent and I will talk, and we'll figure out when we can do it together. So if it's the next morning before our call time, and for those of you who are not familiar with call time, that means the time that we're supposed to be there to start doing hair and makeup. So if we're there before our call time, it only takes like 15, 20 minutes to create a blend from scratch, and that's what I'll do. So we'll get there 20 minutes early, have our coffee together, and I'll blend them, men and women. Both men and women can get a custom blend. So that's how I do it. I hope that's helpful.
Yes, and I also, when I do makeup on I do makeup for all different things, but I do record what I use, and I do follow up and let them know that they can actually get what I use, because that's one of the things that a lot of people that I work with, especially if they are modeling already, they don't always have the best skin, and they don't always have the best products put on their skin prior to seeing me. So once they feel the cosmetics and they love the way they feel, I'm like, you know what, I'm going to write down everything that I used on you. Please give me your information. I put together a list. Our company gives us a lot of tools where we can do this electronically, and I share that with them, and they're always just thrilled to get that, because honestly, some of the things that people are using on them probably shouldn't be used on their face. So they're really happy to have an amazing quality product, but you know, of course, it's a great price. So there is another question.
Okay.
From, I can't read the name, but if there are no makeup courses in town, would you recommend doing an online course to get certification, or is it okay to be self-taught?
What a great question.
It is.
Babsy I think it's Babsy. So Babsy, that's a great question. Listen, I'm just throwing it out there. A certification from an online course, or really any kind of certification, doesn't mean anything. Okay, there is no value to a certification that will get you a job. So is it great to go get training? Absolutely. Never stop going to hands-on workshops and trainings. Never stop going to those. But will a certification online or in person help you, get a job necessarily, or make you even more of a makeup artist? Probably not. Practice makes you a makeup artist, and getting training makes you a makeup artist. And then I would say if the majority of your income comes from doing makeup on people, actually getting paid to do the application of makeup on people, that makes you a professional makeup artist. So if there are no courses in town, go online and look for things, and keep practicing again on as many kinds of faces, all shapes, sizes, and shades as you can. But I would also, it is okay to be self-taught. But is anybody really self-taught, I guess, is the question, because if you're self-taught, are you only doing, I hear a doggy. Are you only doing makeup on yourself? Does that mean self-taught? Or I just want clarification. Or are you self-taught, meaning you're literally teaching yourself how to put makeup on other people? Because there is, I think, a difference there as well. Really, the long story short of it all is that as long as you practice on as many people as you can, and really make it a point to get to as many in-person workshops and trainings that you can, that's when you're going to be the best. Online tutorials and stuff like that is great to watch. And you may pick up tips here and there, but that's not how you really learn the best. It's really, makeup artistry is a hands-on art. So I hope that's helpful. I hope that made sense to everybody.
Yeah, and as far as custom blending and things go like that, Motive actually offers amazing training. Actually, being in the industry as long as I've never witnessed the training like we have. So we have different trainings available in all parts of the world. So so that's a good option, just to put that out there as well. And I love training people how to custom blend, because nobody else is doing it. So
yeah, perfect. Me too. Fun.
Okay, so we do have another question.
Yeah.
What is the best way to brand yourself with the business?
If you're not a makeup artist, or if you are a makeup artist?
not sure. That's just the question. I think, I honestly just had this conversation today. You have to constantly be branding yourself everywhere on social media, when you meet people, when you network. You have to build your brand. And a lot of professionals that I work with have been in the industry for a long time and never focused on branding themselves. Maybe they branded where they worked, or they, and then they have all this knowledge and all these accolades, and they're like, nobody even knows about me because I did it all for who I was working for or whatever. So honestly, with social media, that's a great place to start. And just always really think about, what are you posting out there? What do you want people to see and know about you? Take a look at your profile every once in a while. Is that what you want people to see? Of course,
they're looking.
They are. And so think about, what interests you when you're looking at social media, and, always be branding yourself that way. What do you want to be known for? Think about those things. Create raving fans. That's one thing that I've always taught businesses. There's so many different ways to brand yourself, but honestly, just be yourself and show the world who you are.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can add to that.
Yeah, no, I think everything that you just said was nail on the head. I don't know what I would add to that. As a professional makeup artist, how do I brand myself with motives? Motives is synonymous with quality, high quality, and anybody who has ever touched a motive product knows that. So I think that the way I brand myself, although it's not, I don't shove, constantly. It's not like every single post that I'm posting has to do with motives. Many of them do, but not every single post with motives. So people know me as a person through my social media profiles, and then they also know very clearly what line that I use. So I think there is a fine line between shoving products down people's throats, and that's not something that I do, or, Lee certainly doesn't do that, or that's certainly not something that Motive Cosmetics as a company promotes, doing that. So I would say brand yourself first as a person and the type of person that you would want people to think of you as. So brand yourself with that. And then everything else is secondary. It'll just fall into place.
Yeah, and that's true because, people who say, well, I don't like to sell, but you're selling yourself. Why are they going to hire you over someone else? Or why do they want you to do their makeup versus somebody else? I mean, you are selling yourself. So, get out there and hustle a little bit. So the next question is, how do you document or remember everything that you're using when you're on set with multiple cast members? That's a great question. I have a face chart. I write it all on there. I have shorthand. I write little notes all over there, and I take that home. I just have them fill out their information, their email, and then when I get home, I put it on an electronic list, again, that our company has amazing technology, and I can send it to them then. So it doesn't have to be perfect, not a fancy face chart or anything. It is a face chart, but I just kind of jot things down, and it doesn't take that long.
So I think I see this question here too. Okay, so how do you definitely remember everything that you were using when you're on set with multiple, okay. So when you're on set with multiple cast members, so for me, when I'm on a shoot, it's continuity pictures if there's going to be a continuity issue. So if they have to look exactly the same each day, I'll take pictures, I'll jot down exactly what I wrote, what I put on them, and then once I have that jotted down list, I'll know now for whenever they ask me, because they all ask me, when they ask me, what did you put on me, I'll know. It's right there. I jotted it down already. And I do that for every cast member. And if I'm not working on somebody, if I have an assistant or an additional makeup artist with me, and if they're using my products or Motive products or whatever, I'll do the same exact thing. I'll take note of what they're putting on them, and I'll just write it down, or I'll have the artist just write it down so that everybody knows exactly what's happening. I hope that answered your question, Moni.
Perfect.
Were there any, let's see, what other questions? Any other questions that we have time for? Maleva, you're so funny. 30 minutes for 5 faces, go. Yeah, sometimes we don't have a lot of time on set. We have 30 minutes to do 5 faces. Let's see, any other questions?
Somebody is asking about the Pro Artist program. Honestly, the program that we offer for Pro Artists is really not like any other program out there. If you go to motivecosmetics.com and actually click on the Join tab, there is a whole section about our Pro Artist program. And you actually get your own Motive website, which, again, I don't know any other company that offers that. And what's really cool about it is when your customers go to your website, because you get your own domain name, those customers register to be a customer with their email address, and they're always your customer. So again, no matter where they go, and they can go ahead and just order all the makeup there. Yep. And you know, it varies. It does say 40% retail profit on sales. That is going to vary. And then our company also gives your customers cash back for shopping. You're able to also purchase the products at a lesser cost through your website as well. It's a great program. And I definitely have, you know, makeup artists that I work with that use that program. Most of the makeup artists that I work with actually, they decide to go with our other program, and that's a Motive Beauty Advisor. You still get some of the perks that you get more perks than what you get with a Pro Artist. So I would definitely look into both of the programs and really kind of see what would fit for you. Honestly, the Pro Artist program is going to be some retail profit, and the Beauty Advisor program is going to be extremely more lucrative in the long run.
Yeah.
So definitely talk to the person who invited you on to the call.
Yeah. Any other questions? Any other questions?
Some people are asking where we got the profit sheet, and honestly, it's really easy to just plug numbers in there. And you know, like Jacqueline said, she charges more for custom blend. So that is just a suggested retail price. Her being in New York, she charges a lot more. I'm close to Chicago, and I have artists that again charge a lot more. I live in a really conservative rural area, so I go with the 45 as a suggested retail profit most of the time. So, and it depends what I'm making. So you can just actually put in these numbers, you know, minus what it's going to cost you times 10 a week, and just kind of adjust it to what you're doing and how many clients you see on a regular basis.
Exactly.
It's just something we kind of had made up. So
yeah.
And then there is one that is asking, what type of networking events and groups do you recommend? Do you think there is a point in time where there is too much networking, and how do you know when is too much?
Too much networking? What is that? No, I don't think there's ever too much networking. I mean, as a human, you're constantly networking. Hopefully, I mean, you walk down the street, you grab a cup of coffee, you're kind of networking. I mean, you could be networking. You have the ability to network with the person at Starbucks behind, you know, the counter, or the person in line next to you, or whoever. Like, you're constantly, you know, even if it's not in a business sense, you're still networking. You're spreading your wings out to meet new people, or at a party or whatever. But groups, I would say Chamber of Commerce meetings, great way to meet people. The business groups like BNI. What are some other? What's that other one? Latif or something like that, I think is a business group. Those are the ones that they meet for 1 hour once a month, I think, on the same day, And each person that comes to the meeting is from a completely different background, a completely different industry. So you'll never have two makeup artists, you'll never have two plumbers, you'll never have two lawyers or anything like that. So there's one of everything, and then everybody leaves without fail knowing exactly what you do, what each person does, and then everybody leaves with business cards as well, and they end up following up with each other and kind of referring work to everybody that was there. So those are really, really good ways. Also on social media, however, I will say that if you are networking on social media and you're not a professional makeup artist or in the beauty industry professionally, please, please, please try to restrain yourself from just blanket messaging professionals, because a lot of companies that are in the multi-level marketing realm, which we are not, they do that. And it's irritating, it gets really frustrating and almost like harassing to professionals in the industry. And I kind of can't stress that enough, trying so hard to say this in an eloquent way, but I can't stress that enough. Please refrain from blanket messaging people with this same script that people have been using from other companies, because we get messages like that all the time, and just gives, negative impressions or whatever, and that's not what we're about. So just wanted to throw that out there. But I mean, networking on social media is amazing. So get to know people, see where their businesses are at, follow their businesses, like their pictures, become familiar with them and have them become familiar with you. And then maybe down the line, once you have some sort of friendship going, or some sort of acquaintance thing going, you can connect on a different level down the line.
Yeah, and honestly,
there's never such a thing as too much networking. Come
no.
on.
And honestly, network to network. Don't network to just benefit you. It's all about like meeting different people and connecting people together, because honestly, people in business do seriously want to help people. So, it's just about connecting the dots, and I think networking is a lot of fun, but it can't be about like what it's going to do for you all the time. It's just got to be organically happening.
Definitely. Oh, definitely. And you have to get into the habit of constantly thinking, what can I do for this person? What can I do for this new person that I'm meeting? And when I meet people, when I talk to people at parties or wherever I am, I always end up asking them, so what kind of people should I remember to kind of get you in touch with? Like, what kind of client are you looking for? Depending on, of course, who I'm talking to. How can I help you do whatever it is that they do? I see one question that said something about, how do you schedule around major trainings and conventions and events, and still tend to your clients and everything. There are 2 events a year that I block out of my calendar. I don't care what is happening. If I get a million job inquiries, I'm not taking them. And that is the first weekend in February every year, and then the second weekend in August every year. And those are the 2, Market America, which is Motive's parent company, the Market America conventions, the 2 major conventions in Miami in February, and then in Greensboro, North Carolina in August. And no matter what is happening, work-wise, personal life, anything like that, I'm at those 2 conventions. That is for sure in my calendar. Nothing else is happening except for that. So I turn down work every single year, both times, because I have to be at those conventions. It's a non-negotiable thing for me.
Great. All righty.
Okay.
Well, thank you, everybody. Thanks for attending. And we will be doing many of these. We have so many people that we are going to be interviewing, because the thing is, we're all from the beauty industry, but we're all very different in what we do in the beauty industry. And yeah, so we just really want you guys to keep on tuning in and share this, because we're ready to change the world with makeup artistry and make everybody even more profitable. So thank you all.